There are many historical artifacts scattered throughout the world, including abandoned cars that formerly sped down highways and attracted attention on city streets. These abandoned cars, with their rust and decay, provide a nostalgic and mysterious window into the past. This video tells the tales of the automobile's construction, abandonment, and legacy as it examines some of the most amazing abandoned vehicles that are still in existence today. Number 10. Aston Martin DB5. Due to its multiple 007 film appearances, the Aston Martin DB5 has become a household name associated with James Bond. One of the most recognizable British sports cars ever produced, it is renowned for both its exquisite design and strong performance. The DB5 was found abandoned in a rundown shed in the United Kingdom. After its owner moved overseas and never came back, the car was left there. The DB5 looked dejected, all dust and rubble around it. But after it was found, there was a rush of interest, and it was soon bought and restored. The story of the abandoned DB5 is evidence of both the infatuation with all things James Bond and the car's lasting significance. Number 9. Porsche 356. The German automaker's first production model, the Porsche 356, laid the foundation for many years of extremely powerful sports vehicles. It was made between the late 1940s and the middle of the 1960s, and many adore it for its attractive yet understated design and fun driving experience. A Porsche 356 that had been parked in a California barn by its original owner in the 1970s was discovered there. The vehicle was in a bad way, with rust and deterioration setting in. Still, it was an important discovery because of its rarity and historical relevance. It was completely restored after it was sold at auction. The tale of this Porsche 356 barn highlights the timeless appeal of vintage vehicles and the excitement of unearthing hidden treasures. Number 8. DeLorean DMC 12. The eighth vehicle is the DeLorean DMC 12, which gained notoriety for its lead part in the Back to the Future film trilogy. It was a futuristic, non-traditional sports automobile with gull-wing doors and a stainless steel body. The DeLorean was beset by production and financial problems despite its innovative design, which ultimately caused the firm to file for bankruptcy. A DeLorean was found in an abandoned storage container in Texas. Although it was brand new, the car was hardly ever used. The owner put the car in storage and forgot about it after running into financial difficulties. It was rediscovered in its original state decades later. The story of the DeLorean is one of promise and potential that never quite came to pass. But its abandonment and eventual rediscovery have only served to solidify its cult status. Number 7. Shelby GT500. Constructed by the renowned Carroll Shelby, the Shelby GT500 is a Ford Mustang version known for its great performance. In the 1960s, the GT500, with its formidable V8 engine and aggressive appearance, rose to fame as a symbol of American muscle cars. A GT500 of this type was discovered in an American garage, abandoned. After its owner left for war and never came back, the automobile was abandoned there. It lay neglected for many years, serving as a sobering reminder of its owner's demise. The car was in poor condition when it was eventually found, but it was still rather valuable. After being restored, it came to represent both the bygone age of American muscle cars and the unique tales associated with them. Number 6. Jaguar E-Type, sometimes called the XKE in the US, is arguably one of the most exquisite automobiles ever produced. According to Enzo Ferrari, it is the most beautiful car ever made. It was produced in the 1960s and 1970s and had amazing performance together with gorgeous looks. In a remote French barn in 2016, an E-Type was found. After the owner had mechanical problems, the car was parked there in the 1970s. The car was a time capsule from the heyday of motoring, covered in dust and dirt. It was restored to its former brilliance and sold for a fair amount despite its condition. The finding of this E-Type highlighted the enduring popularity of vintage Jaguars and contributed to the mystery surrounding the barn find phenomenon. Number 5. Lamborghini Miura. Because of its amazing design and mid-engine configuration, the Lamborghini Miura is frequently cited as the original supercar. It established the benchmark for high-performance sports cars when it was produced in the late 1960s and early 1970s, and is still a highly sought-after classic. An underground garage in Greece contained an abandoned Miura. Years had passed as the car was left there, gathering dust and filth. A wealthy businessman had bought it, but he didn't drive it very often. His family forgot about the car after his passing. The Miura was sold and completely restored after it was eventually found again. The auto industry was enthralled with the tale of this hidden supercar, which also brought attention to the appeal of overlooked gems. Number 4. Mercedes-Benz 300 SL Gullwing. Among the most recognizable sports vehicles ever produced is the Mercedes-Benz 300 SL Gullwing. Due to its unique gullwing doors and elegant aerodynamic shape, it has become a benchmark for excellence in automobile design. When it was produced in the 1950s, it was the fastest car ever made. In a Cuban storeroom, an abandoned 300 SL was found. The car had been abandoned during the 1959 Cuban Revolution, and because of the island's political and economic isolation, it had lain neglected for many years. The automobile suffered from the hard conditions, but fans of vintage cars were thrilled to find it. Eventually, someone bought it and meticulously restored it, reviving this long-forgotten gem. Number 3. Aston Martin DB4. Known for its powerful performance and exquisite style, the Aston Martin DB4 is a classic British sports vehicle from the 1960s. It was a forerunner to the more well-known DB5, which James Bond notably drove in the 007 flicks. A DB4 was found abandoned in a farm in the United Kingdom in 2013. There, in the late 1970s, the car had been parked and forgotten. Dusty and webbed, it was a spectral relic of a time long since past. The car was meticulously restored after being sold for a large amount of money despite its state of disrepair. The DB4 is a perfect example of the barn find phenomena, which continues to captivate auto fans and involves the discovery of antique cars in abandoned situations. Number 2. Ferrari 250 GTO. It's possible to argue that the Ferrari 250 GTO is the most well-known and sought-after vintage vehicle ever produced. It was built for racing in the early 1960s and had a V12 engine that produced remarkable performance. There were only 39 made, and now these are some of the priciest cars on the planet, frequently selling for tens of millions of dollars. In a French field, one of these iconic automobiles was discovered abandoned. According to the account, it belonged to a wealthy businessman who moved and left it on his land. The car was left outside in the elements for years, causing its once beautiful bodywork to rust and decay. Even though it was eventually saved and restored, seeing such a valuable car sitting in a field serves as a poignant reminder of time and the owner's shifting fortunes. Number 1. Bugatti Type 57S. Atalante, one of the most sought-after vintage vehicles in automotive history, is the Bugatti Type 57S Atalante. The son of the company's founder, John Bugatti, created this exquisite coupe, which is well known for its remarkable appearance and potent performance. There were only 17 ever produced, making it a very desirable and rare car. In 2009, a reclusive British scientist named Dr. Harold Carr's garage had one of these exceptional, uncommon beauty. His family found the dusty Bugatti tucked away among other classic automobiles and motorcycles after his passing. It had been left undisturbed for almost half a century. The automobile, which drew the interest of auto aficionados all around the world and brought attention to the unexpected riches that can be buried for decades, sold at auction for more than $4 million. Every one of these amazing abandoned cars has an own backstory that reflects time and the owner's shifting finances. These cars, which included the Aston Martin DB5 and the Bugatti Type 57S Atalante, formerly represented innovation, luxury, and performance. These days, they act as moving reminders of a time gone by, arousing nostalgia and igniting the curiosity of auto aficionados all around the world. These cars' rediscovery and restoration guarantee that future generations will continue to honor their legacy. Please remember to hit the bell icon for the most recent changes. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share our video with your friends and family.